Hey guys, this is Andrew Phillips with the Cyclist Lawyer. I've got Bill Flock here from Colorado's Ride. We're going to talk about this summer's ride coming up. Super stoked for this. I had a chance to ride it last summer down there in Durango area. Man, what a great ride you guys put together. So excited to hear some of the new things that you got planned for this year and kind of go through the ride a little bit and get us excited for the summer. So Bill, good to have you today.
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for being a sponsor. Thanks for being a participant and becoming a friend and all those good things. And yeah, we're excited to have you back, and we're excited to. I think got a few changes that I think you'll like, and we'll talk about that. And thanks
All
for being a
right.
sponsor.
You bet. Great to be a part of this great event. Last year we had a really good sized turnout. It just was an incredible event. So I'm sure that this year's gonna be great as well. What Give us first of all just kind of the general format. What is Colorado's Ride? Where are we and what are we doing?
So we're kind of a spoke and hub model. We have two hub locations, one in Durango and one in Pagosa Springs, and we were very deliberate about designing this ride. Last year was our first year. My partner Zach Ostrander, Summit Cycle Solutions, we wanted a ride that made logistics a little bit easier, so people didn't have to pack up every morning and kind of stress out, and then still offer variety. So we did this double hub and spoke out of Durango and Pagosa. We ride up to Silverton, we ride a loop around Durango, we ride to Pagosa, we ride Wolf Creek Pass, people hang out the hot springs, we ride back to Durango. So it's a really nice 5-day tour, and it leaves the weekends on both sides open. So if you want to extend your trip and hang out or go somewhere else or whatever, it makes it actually kind of a cool family event in some ways, because the ride aren't crazy long days, and you can hang out with your family later, or if they want to do the hot springs while you're riding your bike, or maybe whatever. There's just a lot of variety that we wanted to come to the table with.
Some highlights for me when I did the ride last year. One, of course, was definitely the train ride back from Silverton to Durango. What a cool experience that was. Is that going to be part of next year's ride too?
It is. And we're going to actually add an option this year. To my knowledge, we might be the first organized ride to allow two-way traffic. And so people are going to have the option when they get to the top of Molas Pass, which is the last pass before you get to Silverton, to turn around and go back to Durango, because some people wanted a longer day or they didn't want to ride the train. It's, a couple, 3 hours or whatever. So maybe they wanted to get back quicker or whatever. So we have that option this year, which is pretty cool.
Boy, for the animals and beasts out there, I guess. I really enjoyed the lunch break in Silverton myself.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other things are changing this year that we should be looking for?
So that's probably the well, there's two other changes. We have on the second day, if you remember, we did a loop and it was like 44 miles. Some people wanted a little bit of longer experience for that day. So we have an optional loop that will take you up to Hesperus, and then you'd come back from Hesperus Pass down on 160 into Durango. So that makes it about a 65-mile day, I believe, a little extra climbing. So that's one new thing. And then the kind of a bigger thing is, if you remember, on the fifth day, we rode back to Durango on Highway 160. It went pretty well, but it was a little tight in a couple of spots. And we talked to State Patrol, and we decided to go ahead and not utilize 160 past Chimney Rock. So we're gonna go back to Durango essentially the same way we left Durango to come to Pagosa. But when we get to Ignacio, instead of going up the way we did, we'll take a different highway that goes by the airport and goes back to Durango, which is a little bit shorter. So it's, I think, a 72-mile day, but that's how we'll finish. So we're not on 160 hardly at all.
Oh, that sounds great. It was interesting riding from Durango to Silverton up over those passes. I felt like the support was really great. I love that I was in this big group. It's probably a ride I wouldn't necessarily do solo, just given that it's a pretty good sized highway. The shoulder's good enough, but just having people on there. I remember at one point I got a flat tire. I felt very safe changing it. A motorcycle, one of the patrol guys came up and I had some supplies there for me. I got my tube changed pretty quickly. That aspect of a ride like this, having that support and just people out there, that many other riders, that was something that really impressed me about this ride. Can you talk a little bit about that and how what your experience was with that, if any changes with the support?
Yeah, the support is going to basically remain the same. We hire Rapid Medical Response, and they're a group of paramedics on motorcycles that kind of sweep rotate through the ride. But they're not just paramedics; those guys all are mechanics as well. I mean, they all ride bikes, they all get it. super supportive group. And then we have, of course, the Colorado State Police, and they escort us as well. Depending on the day, there's one or two officers with that. The day that you're talking about up to Silverton specifically, we had the sheriff of Silverton, who's really a cool dude, and he was very helpful, and he would patrol back and forth. So we take safety extremely. It's really important to us. And as I know, unfortunately your business is built on when things don't go so well with safety. And so we feel like these road rides are really a great way for folks to still enjoy road biking and feel a little bit safer than maybe doing those things themselves. Centura Medical, their sponsor, they're kind of another piece to the safety, and it's now what Common Spirit, I guess. And they bring an ambulance with us, and they tour. They follow the entire ride. They kind of post up at certain strategic spots in case something does happen. And then we have full communication with the 800 megahertz radios that go. We get a statewide channel dedicated just to our ride, so that all the emergency response organizations along the route, everything from Pagosa to Silverton to Durango, all the hospitals, they're all tuned into that channel on the days that we're riding.
I want to talk to you a little bit about what the lodging aspect of it. Last year you had the field there with the camping. There's some hotels set aside. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so there is a little bit of a change to that. Durango has changed some of their camping rules, so we are still going to utilize the field or the field house there. We are going to be inside camping at that facility where we had the kickoff event.
Inside? We're going to be camping inside?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is fine. And then I think we'll have access to some of the ancillary rooms. So we might even have like a male room, a female room. We're still figuring out how we're going to lay all that out. And then in Pagosa, and then of course we have all the different hotels in Durango that we've contracted with that folks can ride their bike right to the fairgrounds. It's really simple. The bike path goes along the river there that goes right to the fairgrounds. So it's really easy to get around. There's a bus system in town and so forth as well. And then in Pagosa, our headquarters are at the Pagosa Hot Springs, and a lot of folks stay there, but we also camp. This year we're doing a little bit different. Last year we camped in on the facility grounds themselves, and they were honestly a little bit muddy, a little bit because they just were doing some construction. So we actually worked with the town, and we're going to camp at the park across the street from the hot springs on the grass, still within walking distance, and the camping fee, which is $100, includes passes to the Durango Rec Center for showers and whatnot, because it's on the same property as the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And then also to the hot springs in Pagosa. So you get 2
Wow.
days of access for $100. I mean, it's $75 just to get in every day. So
That's a great deal. Holy yeah. So there's going to be an outside camping option and an inside camping option?
Yep. Basically,
Man.
yep.
Do we have a cap on registration? Is there a certain amount that are able to register?
That's a good question. We do. It's a kind of a little bit soft, but it's 300 folks. But we do have a bit of a cap because of the train. So if you want to utilize the train, I'm not sure what that number is, like 170 or something like that. But there is a bit of limited capacity if you want to utilize the train. But we do want to. So if we don't really want to grow this thing to a 500 to 1,000. We want to keep it in that 300 range because it feels a little more intimate. We can have some great entertainment, like last year when you all sponsored that movie. That was great. We did the Ska Brewing party. We'll do another one this year at Ska Brewery, which is super fun. And then partners like you guys get a chance to talk to everybody and put up a display if you'd like or whatever. So it's important to us to keep it family style, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Very family style. And to that point, I guess there's options for your family to ride back with you on the train if some go up that way. Is that right?
You can do that. Absolutely. You would buy the ticket through the train, just to be clear.
Yeah.
But yes, we had several people whose spouses or significant others met them in Silverton and rode back. Absolutely.
And of course, you can jump on the back of their truck and come back or whatever too. You don't have to take the train. That's an easy way to get back home, I guess.
Right. If somebody drives up for you, sure.
Yeah. All right. What I want to ask you, what was your favorite part about the ride last year? What stands out to you?
There's so many things, but from a scenery wise, it's pretty tough to beat Mullis Pass. And I just loved the various kinds of folks that were there, and everybody seemed to be having a good time. And I really enjoyed getting to know people. And the Wounded Warrior Project that came out, and Zed He was talking with his
Yeah.
yellow bench, and
I
is that
love that. The yellow bench was just so fantastic. I loved
yeah.
hearing from those guys.
So I just enjoyed that people had a way to celebrate why they're there, and just have fun.
I think it's coming up. I just wanted to show you this. As we're coming down the pass into Silverton, you guys had a sign just at the perfect spot. And I pulled over there and got a shot with the Silverton down below, and the sign right there is
Yeah,
just a great moment.
yeah, it's a great view, and it use caution. I love
Yeah,
Zach's got a good say. Seriously, like use caution.
seriously, it was a steep pass coming down for sure. A
Yeah,
lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you.
Well, I'm glad you were
Um,
able to come and do that. That was good.
Man, I look forward to this year again. It's just absolutely beautiful. We had great weather every single day. Couldn't have asked for a better time. Where can they register at?
ColoradosRide.com.
Easy. And how long is there a closing period on the registration that they should be looking at?
No, but we will at some point. Really, by June, we have to sign the deal on the train. So after June, you kind of we'll have some limited options on if you want the
Yeah.
train. It doesn't say we can't do it. It just kind of depends on what happens to the demand on the train itself after we've closed our contract.
Man, it's been great talking with you, Bill. So appreciate you sharing some insight on the ride. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great ride. ColoradosRide.com to register. August, what is it? August 19th through the 23rd. Is that right?
Yep.
Fantastic.
All right, sir. Thanks for having me.
Bill, great to see you again. Thanks so
All
much.
right. Talk soon.